Well, Ascend looking pretty right now in the overall scheme of things with a game 1 win. Can they do it again in game 2, though, Vicky, is the question.
We're going to have to see, because I don't know what it is about Ascend and this lobby, A versus C, but they are always feeling themselves. We saw it in day 2. Now we're seeing it here after game number 1, ending things off with 9 kills. Prioritizing the high ground positioning and also the timing of their fights is what allowed them to completely take that win, because we saw that Foot had the positional advantage originally off the low ground, but the fight advantage did go in favor for Ascend.
Yeah, and they drop Jurassic Park, very center of the map. They take all the bunker loot as well. And again, a center drop, the very heart and soul and center of Stormpoint. And they find success. Coincidence? I think not. Very similar to how we see Team Liquid dominating Stormpoint in North America. They drop Cascade Falls, very central. And the fact that they play that very bunker-focused team composition of Newcastle and Watson gives them the chance to early rotate, get the best position, get Godspot, and win, much like we saw last game. That's the recipe for success for Ascend as they dominated game number 1. And like you said, I think the best thing about the Pro League in format, Vicky, is this groups format. Same thing with our playoff LAN events, where you have these groups and you have certain matchups that teams favor. And for Ascend, it's Group A versus C. Something about this lobby and the way things play out works really well for them. We didn't see them do so well in Group A versus B, though.
Yeah, they feel very confident here. And what's also something that I really want to pinpoint that I absolutely love is the diversity of team comps that we see. Obviously, for Ascend, it's that Newcastle and Watson, the double taser comp that we were talking about earlier on in the Pro League that has worked out for Ascend more than anything. It works into the way that they play into these circles. It works into the positioning that they want to control. And it also works in the team fights whenever it comes to that Newcastle wall and that Watson fences that allows them to really take control over that land that they're trying to fight for.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ascend currently find themselves 4th place overall in the standings behind Vexed, the Kansas City Pioneers, and Alliance. Alliance of which, alongside Vexed in Group E, not competing today. So they will likely lose that 1st and 3rd place spot to one of these teams, as they'll be behind in days overall. But keep in mind, it's all going to be fair in the end. After all 8 days of competition in the Pro League, we'll go to the last day 9, which will be our regional final. So for those that are wondering, how does the format work? What's at stake here? Well, that's exactly it. You want to place top 20. The top 20 teams of the 30 teams in Pro League will make it to the regional finals, where they will play one final day of Pro League, essentially, to earn 25 points for first, 22 or 21 for second, and so on and so forth. The winning team of the regional final automatically qualifies for Split 1 playoffs, the LAN tournament that's going to be in a few months here. So I love that format, because the team that's in like 18th or 19th place overall, Vicky, that maybe wouldn't have qualified by points if with a 4th or 5th place finish, can win the competition and still qualify, which is awesome. The top 9 teams after that will make it through to the playoffs for a total of 10 teams from Emea, North America, and APAC North.
Yeah, that regional final is going to go absolutely crazy. Definitely agree right there, too, because it's always exciting to see if an underdog could immediately just swoop in and take that from one of our more consistently performing squads. But, you know, you could be consistent, but you got to be consistently in that top 9 if you really want to feel secure there, as we get to see KCP making their rotate over to the north side of the map. Nice to see how they're doing right now here, too, because they were in a really good position in that last game. I do believe they got 3rd place with some KP that they were able to clean up with some nicely timed third parties.
Yeah, that's right. The teams are going to rotate fast here, and this is a good decision. And you know, it's interesting. Obviously, we talked about it for a while. Teams that play early rotate versus hard edge, like Aurora. KCP likes to rotate early. I think a big part of it actually should depend on where the zone's going to finish. You know, on World's Edge, if it's a skyhook finish, you need to rotate early because you need positioning. You need to grab one of those buildings. In Stormpoint, same thing. I think these northeast finishes, the ability to get all the way to Lightning Rod first and get one of these, the definition of Godspot. You're on high ground. You can look over everybody else is so important. So I love this early rotation here for KCP. They're going to actually drop on a team here, and they want to fight.
Oh, they're not wasting any time. They immediately get the first knock onto Row. Surprise! I hope you're ready for us. And there's another squad over on the other side that is just looking at the chaos ensuring by KCP. But this is their playstyle. They're an extremely aggressive team, and it was Bitfix that wanted to stay put here. Well, Pioneers, they had different plans for them Fallout.
Yeah, and Forge actually joined the fight from high ground there. They were able to get 1 or 2 KP as well, but guess what? Not looking good overall. Phoenix last alive for this team. Catalyst going to give him the ability to reinforce those walls. We'll see what Phoenix can do on Catalyst last alive. Pops an ult accelerate to get some additional cover and use that potentially to res her teammates. We'll see if Catalyst can do exactly that. On board now with Dell. I'm going to take out Jay Savage. Just like that, KCP says, give me that God spot. It's ours.
So smart of KCP to be able to actually just 3-2-1 that there too, taking control of this place. And just like you were saying before, it's important to get the quick rotate when the circle is pulling north, because the Skyward Dive, if you are a north squad, covers more land if you're going north to south. But if these circles are pulling north and you're trying to rely on that Skyward Dive for these rotations, you're not going to be able to cross as much land if you're coming from the south side, because you have to go from low to high ground.
Yeah, that's a good point. Meanwhile, in the kill feed, you see Uchaco take out Yarka, his former duo, longtime Portuguese and Spanish teammates.
Ready, squad.
And just like that, Scar's down to one player left. A lot of early game fighting here. Back in the day, Emea was known for not a whole lot of early game fighting. That has certainly changed. It's almost like North America and Emea has flipped the script here, with Emea playing so aggressive in these lobbies. Here comes a Catalyst ultimate. I believe that's the last member alive. It's Phoenix. And goodbye for Phoenix. KCP just ate up the entire northeast of the lobby. Both teams eliminated, Forge and Bitfix. And guess who is going to be there when the dust settles? Well, it's the Kansas City Pioneers with great positioning, a Watson, and complete opportunity to win this game.
Listen, leave some for the rest of us out here, KCP. They're looking to clean things up like it's a buffet. And right now, with 17 squads left, we saw in the kill feed that Scars actually was eliminated. So Scars still not having a very good game here, dropping early, I believe, in 18th place overall. So now as KCP just continuously loot up, the likes of teams like Scars really need to start turning things around, since there's only one more game left on Stormpoint.
Vicky, I wish you could punch death boxes. Like, you know, this scenario
to like
where there's
move them, right?
You know what I'm saying? There's like 6
Yeah.
death boxes blocking the entrance here, so they get jumped on. It's not going to be a quick rotation inside. You know, I wish you could just give it a little punch through the death boxes. Next thing you know, people are going to be playing Tetris in Apex, but still, you know, I think it's an interesting feature.
Sometimes people are just too heavy so that you can't even move their box.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Gibraltar box, you're not moving anywhere. That thing's not moving.
True.
Nightmare Esports here in 14th place overall in this lobby. Running Crypto. Crypto's, I wouldn't say flavor of the month just yet, but so many teams have been running Crypto to success. RKN and the Guard over in North America, but really it was all the Emea teams that popularized Crypto early on. Game of Drones been playing Crypto since the beginning, their inception as a squad, so you like to see Crypto staying healthy in the overall meta, and a lot of teams starting to run Crypto now.
I would love to see, oh, here we go. I was going to say, I would love to see the mini-map overall, because we know that this circle is going to be pulling north, and this could actually be on the outskirts of Thunderwatch. We're going to have to see where that next circle is going to be going, because some of these squads don't have that information of where the beacon's going to be providing. Ascend and Reply Totem will have that information, since there is that beacon in Thunderwatch. But you can see with so many other squads rocking the Crypto that they're not going to be able to have that beacon control, as KCP are splitting their attention not only to the south, but still to the squad that is holding the north side of Lightning Round. That is going to be Nightmare. I believe there's 2 other squads in the area. V2 may also have already made their way over to Lightning Rod. There's also a beacon off to the side of Lightning Rod, but that's not going to be able to get scanned by KCP because they're not running the Crypto and they're already on the other side.
Yep. And shout out to Alex, our game director. Big shout out to our entire observing team. You know, Parks and the rest of them always holding it down for us. Big thank you to them. But they're going to give us that minimap exactly when we needed it and show us that important information, right? Thunderwatch, you have Ascend and Reply Totem stacked like pancakes. Don't expect them to fight, though. In Thunderwatch, typically you'll see 2-3 teams coexist. Not a lot of opportunity to fight. And if you do, you're likely going to get third-partied here. So Ascend and Reply Totem will probably be chilling, coexisting, as we take a look at Nightmare Esports finding themselves in a bit of a skirmish here. Microdrones detected, so a scan of Limic on Crypto, but he's able to get some information if he pops back into his drone as well. So we switch on over and showcase exactly what we were talking about. Reply Totem on top and Ascend on bottom.
Yeah, with them holding onto this real estate and just like you were saying, sharing that POI, we've seen this circle pull towards the slight north side of Thunderwatch, which would force these teams that are hanging out inside of this building to funnel out into the line of sight of the squads that have that slight high ground. If KCP end up having to move away from this spot, they need to make sure that their backs are going to get cleared up, which is going to be shared by Nightmare V2. I believe Start to Fight may also be there too, as you can see Heroes also hanging out on the south side, right close to Reply Totem and where Ascend are hanging out, but they're overlooking a lot of the action happening on the southern side of the map to deny the opportunity and the rotation from any squads that may be leaving Stormcatcher.
That's a good point. So the zone soon to close. Expect some of these edge teams to potentially fight. We know teams like Gaming Gladiators, Fire Beavers, Aurora like to play edge. We'll keep a close eye on them as Reply Totem's currently posted up above Thunderwatch. And as things are slowing down here a little bit, we'll take a moment to give you all some info, as I know you all want it. We got one team running Mad Maggie and Rampart. 2 teams running Catalyst. So 2 Catalysts, 2 Bloodhounds on the map, 3 Bangalores on the map, 3 Newcastles, 5 Cryptos, 5 Horizons, 7 teams running Seer, 14 teams running Watson. So Watson's obviously skyrocketed in popularity. And of course, Valkyrie still on top with an 85% pick rate. Typically, we see that Valk pick rate 95 to 100%. So again, really healthy overall kind of legend comp meta and diversity here in Emea, Vicky. You love to see it.
It's so great to have that get out of jail card. I know it's risky in the late game because you're taking that 50-50 in case you land on top of a team that's already taken up the building in these late circles, but it's so great to have a quick rotational tool that the Valkyrie Skyward Dive provides. And I like how you highlighted the Watson stat here too, because that really further accentuates how interesting it is to see the teams like Aurora rock the Caustic in a map like World's Edge. Why the Caustic is so unique, because we don't really get to see that Caustic pick very often, since we've been mostly seeing the Watson.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, right now, Vicky, everyone's been talking about Seer. Should we GA Seer? Seer's still bad for the game, but only 35% of teams are running Seer in Emea right now. So again, I think things are in a great spot. You know, for a while there, obviously, it was a little scary with most teams running Seer and Valk. But I think things have changed. A lot of teams have shown other legends are certainly viable, and that certainly shows in this pick rate right now for Emea, at least. We'll give you that continued update as we switch over to World's Edge. We'll tell you how things change up. You'll see maybe a little more Caustic on World's Edge. No Caustic today here in Stormpoint, at least, as we take a look at the game in Gladiators, a team that changed their team comp. They were running that Newcastle and Watson team comp that was getting so popularized, realized, this doesn't really fit our playstyle very well. Switched Hardeki over to Seer, which has been a great change up for them. The intel, him as an IGL, he's able to really understand where things are at and make the right calls. I like that change up. And now we switch over to Game Ward, our one of 2 teams running Bloodhound, which is you and I's favorite legend, Vicky.
Oh yeah, I love Bloodhound, and not only the Bloodhound, the Bangalore too, which obviously complements the Bloodhound so well. And love how we talked about it in our pre-show, that DigiThreat being able to help out so much. And if you're rocking the Bangalore with the smoke grenades, even better. But there's a team that has the high ground over Game Ward, as they are in the middle of their rotation, wondering which squad it is that's trying to contest them. They're going to be starting to rotate through the mountain cave, see which of these squads are right ahead of them, but they don't have that automatic information without that scan because they aren't running the Seer.
Yep, Game Ward. One of my most exciting storyline teams coming into this competition. The return of Le Site de France, who dominated early in ALGS online tournaments, but disbanded for some time. We didn't really see this squad competing in full. Psycop said, hey, it's time to shake things up with this roster. Picked up YOLO and Aimbot, 18 and 19 years old. One's a controller player, one's a mouse and keyboard player from France, an all-French team. Le Site de France representing all of France with this squad, but they haven't performed up to the expectation I think we had for them coming in. Obviously, some new players, some rookies, so it takes some time for them to get experience. They really got to turn things up today and in following Pro League days, Vicky.
Super important. So many amazing French players popping off in competitive Apex. So you see, Game and Gladiators are going to start rotating from the outskirts of the circle. We talked about it before, Hardeki sticking to the Seer, and with a Fragmaster, Hardeki himself, such a good legend for him to be on here. Pinging where they want to rotate, but playing off of the outskirts of the circle as they are going to try to plan what the next move is as they exit out of Command Center. I'm worried about the squads that have control over the high ground when you leave out of Command Center. Think about Aurora, who have this high ground actually right here. They're overlooking a lot of the action that was happening at Lightning Rod, but they're going to have to start moving soon because they're playing on the edge of that circle, and they get blocked out from their view. You can see the Bangalore smoke already being used up. One of our other squads rocking the Bangalore with the Mad Maggie and Catalyst that we keep highlighting.
Yeah, no digi-threat, though, in the hands of Ranches, unlike Game Ward. And, you know, one big, obviously, downfall of playing these Bangalore Bloodhound or very off-meta team comps is everyone in the lobby knows who you are. You heard it from Reply Totem that listened, and that was one of the subtle things you maybe didn't really catch as a viewer, but you heard them say, this is Game Ward. Well, how they know that? It's because they're the only team running a Bloodhound and a Bangalore. So if you're in first place, especially in match point formats, obviously not match point here today, but I can confirm our Challenger Circuit and relegation finals to see who's in Split 2 Pro League will be match point this year. That's a big change up that was made. But with that said, in match point format and in general, if you're in first place and teams are hunting you, it's a little scary if you're running a off-meta team comp because people are going to call you out pretty quickly.
Very difficult too, right? It's actually something that we had talked to a long time ago to Hodsik from Team Liquid when we were talking about the Loba composition that they were unique to bring to a lot of these lobbies. A lot of these teams get pinpointed just depending on the type of composition that they're running because they're so unique. As Reply Totem still sticking to the high ground here. They have the Watson ult out, and Jazaz getting pinged from every angle right here, managing to scrape by, but loses out on Sharp at the same time. Jazz is trying to heal up with the Phoenix kick. Can he get away in time? It's Ascend that are forcing their way up onto the high ground. They take advantage of the low health, and they wipe out Reply Totem.
Well, we said they'd coexist for quite some time. That is until now, until the opportunity arrived for Ascend to push on high ground. They heard the damage that was done to Reply Totem from another team nearby, and they're able to get themselves a few kill points, 2 to be exact. So Kashera, post-kill, and Lufka, the team of 2 Portuguese plus Lufka, new controller player, rookie to the LGS from Poland. They stay on top here with Guy right below them. Got to be really cautious here. GG with the Newcastle fences, or sorry, the Watson fences will certainly help them, but we expect Ascend to potentially try and come grief this here if there's a knock or if there's some damage done.
Guy playing off the low ground right here too. Let's see. You see Lightning Rod has been heavily contested since the very beginning. Nightmare V2 and Start a Fight arc here. Meanwhile, Gaiman Gladiator still playing off of the outskirts of Thunderwatch. Another squad holding on to the outskirts is going to be Fire Beavers, who are going to be looking at what the action is looking like between Ascend and Gaiman Gladiators. But if they don't start moving soon, they're going to be in a lot of trouble because this circle's pulling all the way up to the north close to Lightning Rod.
That's right. Ascend gets all of the loot from Reply Totem. GG's nearby, but they're going to have a max rotation. This is going to be difficult. Obviously, they have Valk, so expect them to likely hit this Valkyrie rotate. Where they drop, though, is TBD, but the Valk rotate into the Newcastle ultimate is what you'll probably see here, and this is why Newcastle is so important in these late-game fights. Looks like we have Ascend about to make their rotation. I'd actually love to jump in to a listen-in with this squad, if ready and if available. Ascend right now, led by Kashera. The IGL for this squad is ready for a listen-in. Let's go ahead and jump into a listen-in with Ascend.
One cell. No bots, no cells.
We need the Valkyries from me.
Yeah.
Can we AFK? Just AFK for now.
Yeah. They Valkyrie. Go left, go left. We don't even need to Valkyrie. Come. Team on the right. Okay, they're fine.
We can Valkyrie here, no?
Hold the team on the right, don't let them push us on the back. Okay, they're not pushing. They're getting smashed in front of us, they're getting smashed here.
I'm moving.
The team on the left, we have Valkyrie on me. Valkyrie. Go.
Nice, let them fight.
Look for opening.
Post here. Here.
Pop your ulti, Telikash. So I can pop mine.
Ulti southwest, yeah. Pop then. Be careful from the right, West.
Above us.
They have a smoke or what?
Oh, they're low.
Okay.
No, all dead.
Swap.
I swapped.
I'm on it.
Later, I'm gonna have ulti again. Nice job, guys.
I need accelerator. We need accelerator for Valkyries, no?
Yeah.
Take this.
Elmedia, level 4.
I'm probably gonna keep my ulti. Then I'm not gonna use ultimate accelerator. I'm gonna save my ulti.
Fine for now. Grab nades.
Arcstar here.
There's a team there. Do you guys need bots?
This spot is free.
We should take it.
The guy, they got.
They didn't took back. They didn't took back.
There's no way they are safe there.
Can you give me the helmet?
Take my helmet.
I have Valkyrie in 4%.
Guys, we just hold this position. We kill the team on the house.
Play on Cash. Don't make noise. Play on Cash. Chill for now. Chill a bit. Oh, we can play here, Cash. Go here.
We are not alone. Look over here.
I'm not gonna have my ulti.
What a listening right there for Ascend. You heard so much to break down, but guess what? Gameplay's about to wrap up here, so we'll go back to that here in just a moment as we take a look at Ascend in a great position. We know the Kansas City Pioneers are still alive as they took out SAF in the kill feed. One team takes to the skies above them, Vicky.
Yeah, we got Ascend, KCP, Heroes, Nightmare, Foot Esports, and V2. So much action happening on the north side here of this POI, but Pioneers in some trouble. Serdell clutches it out, wipes out Heroes, gets the quick shield swap. Can he get the res? That is the question, because the Circle is going to be closing in right behind him. He has to just start moving. He has nothing that he can do right here. He's running into the line of sight of two other squads, and he's hiding behind the gravestones of another team.
Yeah, forced to play as a solo here is KCP. Regardless of what happens here, you got to tip your hat. KCP's been playing really, really well, but their inability to make it to the late game might cost them. We'll see if Dell can rat his way to a top 3 finish. They need the placement points for sure here. As we take a look at Ascend, the Newcastle Ultimate is out, and this is why Ascend is so dangerous in these late games. It's their team composition that certainly helps them.
It's great, and their comms here too, as Pioneers get finally wiped out. It's gonna be Amphi who cleans up Serdell, the last straggler of that squad. V2 have the high ground, but as a duo, Joke, his banner gets timed out. They couldn't get it in time, and they didn't have the mobile respawn to really work with. They put in some pressure and pepper down on that player that's playing off that low ground. 4 squads now left remaining, with V2 having a nice positional advantage.
Yeah, V2 is in 16th place in the overall standings. They are one of those bubble teams that are on the bubble or on the fringe from not making it into the top 20 and not qualifying for the regional finals to give them a chance at top 10 to make it to the playoffs. Here comes Foot. They're going to full send here. 3v2 numbers advantage for Foot. I like that call. I like that play. And the Foot squad all on land from Istanbul on point right now. And it shows they're going to make it to yet another top 3. Foot is playing out of their minds.
Planted the flag of Foot Esports right at the feet of V2, said, no way, that's going to be ours for now. Thank you for holding it down, as Ascend are still going to be able to play off the low ground right here. Nightmare is also looking at Foot. See V2 finally get eliminated here, as Ascend are still overlooking a lot of the action. What are they going to do? They can't just take the zipline right here. They have to start moving soon.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, 2 of these last 4 teams are teams that are running Seerless team comps. So just reaffirming the point I made earlier, as it looks like Postkill will make his rotate through, but they're going to be in a dangerous spot, taking out Watson fences along the way. Here comes the Newcastle ult. It comes back, courtesy of that gold helmet. It helps them big time, as Lufka now has a chance to just rain fire and put some suppressing fire on Foot on high ground. 3 squads remain. It's Ascend, Nightmare, and Foot.
We see Ascend now playing off the low ground still. What are they going to do? What are they going to do about the zipline right here? Is it going to be able to hang out right here by the edge of that with the Newcastle ult, giving them some of that extra crowd cover? Foot dropped down from the high ground, and Nightmare right behind them.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be Ascend looking to go back-to-back, and they will. Foot Esports out in 3rd, Nightmare out in 2nd, and just like that, Ascend does it again. Back-to-back wins on Storm Point. They are dominating.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They're looking for the 3 back-to-back again. Ascend with their consistency, with the Newcastle and